Thank you all for the warm welcome and for inviting me to be part of the incredible story that is Row, New York. To say I'm thrilled to be here would be a huge understatement. My entire career has been about creating the conditions that unleash human potential and pursuing these ideals through a sport that's beloved to me and in many ways got me here is really a dream job and one I've waited for a really long time. During that time, you all have been busy. So let me first just start with a huge congratulations to the people in this room, to each of you and all of you collectively. What you built here is really responsive and remarkable, and if you talk to any of the young people that are wearing blazers tonight, you'll see that it's actually had a really profound impact on their lives. And thank you for coming tonight. This is a really noisy week with lots to distract us and a lot at stake. But it is important to be here to share space with people who are believers in something that's much greater than any one of us. So since I'm literally 4 weeks into this job, and here I am standing in front of you, I'm going to take the opportunity to introduce myself a little bit. And you should know this right from the starting line. I'm a believer too. And I'm new to you, but I am not new to rowing. In fact, rowing and I go way back. And when I look at the student athletes here tonight, I know I have so much in common with them. And it's not just the feeling when you're in sync or walking a boat. It's belief in this sport's power to shape your life. I rowed in high school, and when I arrived as a first year at the University of Virginia, I was one of 9 women who started on the varsity squad, which meant I had this opportunity to seat race for the top 8. And surprising to everyone, including myself, I completely destroyed. Okay, I killed it in my seat races, but I didn't make the boat. My coach at the time told me that I wasn't seasoned enough. And at the time I was, I'm going to call it devastated right now, but that isn't probably how I acted. But I understand the rightness of his judgment in retrospect, because it wasn't my rowing and it wasn't how strong I was. It was whether I could respond to adversity. It was if I could put myself and my team ahead of any one thing that I wanted, and how ready I was. And so I learned that one the hard way, and I've been ready ever since. John could not have known at the time that I spent about 20 years in education trying to understand what seasoned meant. And here is what I learned that I want to share with all of you. The first is that what some call soft skills, and this is going to be the only time you ever hear me say that phrase, motivation, self-regulation, empathy, these are anything but soft. They're actually the juice that creates success at the highest levels. The second is that they don't happen by magic. They can actually be intentionally built through the environments, experiences, and relationships that enable people to develop them and thrive. And the third, which was really kind of a light bulb moment for me, was the place I learned these skills was on the water. And I don't mean not rushing the slide. I know everyone's like thinking that right now. But learning courage and persistence and inner strength and calm amidst a storm, how to be a true friend and teammate, how to push my limits, and these things have powered me in my personal and in my professional life ever since I picked up an oar. So I'm fortunate to be part of a generation of women for whom Title IX made picking up an oar actually possible. And so it made a lot of sports, but especially rowing, finally more accessible. Despite this, and despite all of the benefits that I have mentioned, it's really not an accessible and inclusive sport. And the repercussions are not only that we don't have the fastest crews, but also the profound experience and the benefits I named are available to far too few individuals. So Row New York has been tackling this head on and will continue to do so unapologetically, without sacrificing winning or the well-being of our athletes. So I started my UVA career on a scrappy club team with fearless, outsized dreams. We pushed cars in neutral in the parking lot for strength training way before American Gladiator did. Okay, I just want to say that for the record. But we were erging in dusty racquetball courts, and our boats were in a shipping container, and we drank from a hose, and I loved every minute of it. And I learned with certainty that amazing things happen with heart and hard work. Later, I experienced the transformation that came from getting full varsity status. How leadership and funding can affect a program that was already doing so many things right. And it took us to new levels of expectation and achievement that we did not think were possible. And my class graduated with the highest GPA, the most committed civil service, and we were an absolute powerhouse and one of the most successful rowing programs in the country. We can and should do that for New York. We, New Yorkers, are no strangers to adversity. We are literally surrounded by water, everybody. Right out there is a ton of blue space. Our motto is Excelsior, rising, striving, excellence. It's in our veins. And if rowing could be a great equalizer, because the truth is, nobody's born knowing how to do it. Everybody's a novice from the beginning. Then every New Yorker is a novice waiting at the starting line for us. And what an honor to hold a dream for people before they can hold it for themselves. And how profound to be able to do that through something as simple as rowing a boat. Let's give more New Yorkers that chance. So everything I've seen in these first 3 weeks have taught me that what Row New York has accomplished to date is well-earned, and it runs deep. We have a talented, committed team that I know so many of you have met. We have an undeniable value proposition. We have engaged board members and supporters, participants, families. And I'm inspired by what we can become here, because I'm a believer, after all, just like you. And I believe that the opportunity before us to be competitive on the water, to create environments for people to thrive, to reestablish New York as a rowing powerhouse, to build community and rise together is an opportunity as time has come. Thank you.